My name is Sam Poetry. I'm a producer and engineer here at the Lava Room, and I have studied at Tri-C in the Recording Arts and Technology program where I gained my wings. I would say both. I'm primarily an engineer, but I focus a lot on getting a good performance from the artist. So that's where my producer hat comes in, just making sure they get their lines down right and that they're comfortable and they can deliver the song well, which helps me engineer a lot better. So I do it both. I think they like my personality. I'm very friendly. I'm very, try to be understanding. I try to cater to them as much as I can because everybody's different. Every artist is different. So I kind of get a feel for them and what they like, what they dislike, what their specific needs are. And I just cater to it. Just try to be likable, very respectful, and just, encouraging. Because sometimes artists are in the studio and they're a little bit too much in their head and they're judging themselves. So I'm the guy on the other end, like, hey man, keep going, you can do it. Don't worry if you mess up, we'll fix it. So I think they like my personality the best. My favorite pastime is record digging, collecting records. I shop all over the country. I've been places such as Vegas. I've been out to Dallas, Atlanta, you name it. Anywhere there's a record store, I'm going. I love collecting records. I have everything from blues, folk, jazz. I got movie soundtracks. I just love digging for records. So that's pretty much what I'm doing. I even have a record store that I go to here in Cleveland called Late Night Records, where it's open till midnight. So that's fun. I'm even digging at night. Yes, my preferred style is R&B. I love R&B. I think it's so many different unique voices and textures to people's voices. I love stacking harmonies. I love hearing chord progressions and just the sound of R&B. That's my absolute favorite, R&B. So far, I would say MGK. He's a superstar. He's well, rehearsed with his words, his music, everything's put together. He knows what he wants. He's very demanding at times, but he just knows what he wants. So I would say that was my favorite session because I learned so much dealing with an artist that successful, that just just on. He's always on, and he was making things up right there on the spot, and I had to be there and just be in the moment. So I just enjoyed working with him. Very friendly guy, very cool guy, and met his friends and everything, and we just had a great time. And I just feel like I'm a better engineer after that session. I have good thoughts and bad thoughts. This is the best and worst time to be doing music right now. We're able to make records for pretty much next to nothing. Distribute it, market it, promote it, make videos with our phone. So this is the best time to do music because it's just no cost. Whereas, in the 90s and early 2000s, you had to really spend a lot of money to make a record and promote it. Whereas now, I mean, it's just virtually. I mean, with social media, you can just put your stuff out there and the world can hear it. If it's good, you may catch some traction. That leads to the bad part where, everybody now can make music, any and everybody. So you have people who rely so much on this technology that, they may not have any talent, and no business doing music, and they're able to make records now. So it's oversaturated the market. Definitely the streaming is a joke when you look at it. So now everybody's trying to scramble and figure out ways to generate income because they're not even paying a penny per stream. So that's the bad part about it. So it's good and bad. I love completing the record when it's all done. We got all the work done, we got all the takes down, the mix comes together, and we're listening back, and everybody's in agreement that this sounds right. I love the way an artist's face lights up when this is exactly what they wanted. So that has to be my absolute favorite. It's just when it's all done, we got it together. I dislike dealing with artists who are not prepared. It just makes for a very, very tough session. Files aren't sent correctly. They're not rehearsed with their the lyrics, so they're stumbling a lot, and it's just falling apart. So that's probably the most frustrating. It's just artists who are just not ready to be in the studio yet. What can be so amazing is sometimes you get an artist that is they just have that it factor. They have like star quality. They come in and it's just like, wow, everything lights up in the studio. They get behind the mic and it's like their voice just come over so well. The compressors, the EQs, everything just fits perfect with their voice. The mix is coming together right. These guys are singing in key. They just have star quality and it's electric. And that's something that, you can't explain. Like, you hear the mix back and it's like, I didn't do anything different. Why does it sound so much better? I just think that it's that artist, just came in with a great energy. And sometimes when you look at a person, it's like you didn't know that was going to come out, and then they come in and it's like totally different person once they get behind the mic. A producer's job is to make sure the song comes together, from start to finish, making sure the performance is good, making sure the instrumentation is right. You may need to change lyrics, verse, so more in song creation. Whereas with the engineer, we're making sure sonically everything fits together correct. Definitely. Just being younger, going to studios, paying for sessions and not really getting the quality I wanted. That encouraged me to learn how to do it myself because I think all artists know what they want to hear. So it was a lot harder back then without, you didn't have a laptop or a cell phone, all this stuff. So, you just couldn't record the way you wanted to. So you had to rely on people at times, and that got frustrating after a while. The same thing with being a producer. It's not like today where everyone's a producer and everybody has some type of beat software. You had to rely on someone to make music for you, and equipment was very expensive. So after years of just not having someone to produce for me, I got real frustrated, and that motivated me to get in there. So I was very young too. I started at like 10, but by the time I was 16, I was all in, just recording in little 4-track recorders and drum machines and keyboards and synthesizers, and that's what I did every day, all day. until I got really good at it. I've been a professional audio engineer for at least over 10 years, and I've been doing recordings since I was 10, the early 90s. So I've been starting off recording on karaoke machines and 4-track recorders and tape players and whatever can record sound, I was doing it. So I've always been into it. What I do is just offer experience. I've been through so many different scenarios in the music business. I've made so many mistakes. I can tell you a million ways on what you shouldn't do. I have a lot of experience in that. A lot of people want to learn from successful people, but you can learn from people who have been unsuccessful. So I've failed so many times. So I offer that to artists. I'm always able to advise them and just be that of like a big brother or a mentor. And even with social media, I help them to promote themselves and just offer advice on what they can do to, broaden their audience. I would say Fleetwood Mac. That's my favorite, rock band. They just made the classic album Rumors, and I would just love to pick their brain, like just from hear stories about them working at Sound City and just the songwriting, the musicianship. I just really I love that group, and I wish I could just get into their brain. Like, how did you guys come up with The Chain and Dreams and all these great, amazing records? Go Your Own Way and all that stuff, man. It's just I love that group. What they're going to expect is a friendly, knowledgeable staff. We're here to serve you guys. We enjoy our work. We enjoy getting paid, but we enjoy making the artists happy and getting them the best possible product. So that's what they can expect. Just dedication, truly dedicated. Everybody's friendly. Everybody's knowledgeable, and you're going to get a great experience. You're gonna make sure not only do we're not just here to just record and press and record, but we're here also to help you along the process. Making sure you get the good take down. You may feel like it's good, but I may push you a little bit more to say, hey, let's try another take. So just good advice, good energy, pretty much. I would say just sometimes particular artists are just difficult to work with. They're not prepared, or some people have diva mentality. Some people come in and they have these weird quirks about what they want to do. Some people want to record in ways it's like, guy, it's not going to sound right if we do it this way. Like they may want to record in a control room with a party almost going on. It's like, guy, this is going to get into the microphone. We should do it in the booth. And just weird, just difficult. Sometimes just dealing with a difficult artist, that's probably the most frustrating. Technical difficulties. Every now and then, you just have technical difficulties. It could be a bad cable, bad wire. Sometimes the artist thought they sent over the right files. They're not the right files. So we're scrambling, trying to figure things out. Sometimes, a mic can be faulty. So just various things. So I think that's the most frustrating. Just sometimes Pro Tools want to act up every now and again. So That's probably the most frustrating, just technical difficulties. It happens though. I'm never really satisfied. I've learned to back off a little bit, because I'm a perfectionist, and anybody who's a perfectionist know you're never really satisfied with it. What's more important is the client love the work. So I always make sure when they are satisfied, then I learn to just be satisfied as well. But I always hear something I feel like I could tweak better, or I can do it better, or I want to start from scratch and do it again. But I've learned throughout the years if the client loves it and everybody's in agreement, then it's good, and give myself a little more credit. I have an artistic brain, so it'll always be something dealing with art. So if I didn't do music, I would be an actor, I would be a painter, I would be some form of fashion creating something. So, I mean, music has just always been my love. So I really can't see myself doing anything else. But if I did, it would have to be something else in the arts. In the next 10 years, I see myself as a well known, award winning producer and songwriter. I enjoy that the most. I love engineering, but I want to get more behind the scenes as far as working with the artists, because I think there's some talent out there. But what's missing in the industry today is just those classic songs, great songwriting, great musicianship. And I want to be behind that and bring musicians together and um, get away from the emailing files, and, get back to being in the studio together and writing really good songs, and um, you know, introspective records and things like that. I'm glad I have the engineering background, because now I understand what it takes even sonically to make good records. So I think that that's what the business is missing is just great, well written, well produced songs. And that's where I see myself 10 years from now is really grooming good artists and getting them out there, and pumping some life back into the industry.